Alright, so today's video is just a short video on how to use the backbender. So these babies are, I don't know what they're called, like a crab trap backbender or something, I don't know. Anyway, so you need your backbender and you need your spinal strip. So my take on backbender work is that it should be manageable. It shouldn't feel like you can't breathe, or that you're like struggling or bracing. And by bracing, I mean like you're holding on in other parts of your body. So the idea here is to have like a sense of ease in your body. Okay, so I've got the backbender right up my butt. I've got the strap down to my sacrum. So it's running right up and down my spine. And then I'm just gonna slowly start to lift my hips up, as in like tabletop. Okay, and then I've got my head, so I'm super stiff today. So I'm actually gonna grab another prop. So just until I feel like I'm a little bit loosened up in my spine, I'm gonna use another prop. So you could use another spinal strip as more padding, or you could use this guy. Okay, so I'm just going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to place this down, because I could tell as soon as I went to go back, my breath got stuck, and I just did not feel good. Okay, so I'm just going to rest my hands on my pelvis so I can feel where my pelvis meets my leg bones, right in the crease there. And take a couple breaths here to soften. And then I'm going to start to just drop my pelvis down slightly. So some days when I do this, I have a lot of movement. And some days, like today, I'm like very little. So I'm only moving in the range that I feel I can manage today. It's not a ton. Okay, so I'm gonna keep my pelvis stationary, and I'm gonna take my arms up, feel my shoulder blades, then I'm gonna drop my pelvis slightly, take my hands away, and then bring back up. So I'm just moving in this really small range today, which is so interesting because when I did this a few days ago, I had way more range. So it just goes to show that there's so many things that affect our body on any given day. So maybe how much water we've had, how much sleep we've had. I'm going to just cradle my head and lift up as I lower down. How much movement we've had. All those things affect our flexibility. So now, I'm just going to take a minute to kind of roll my spine out. And then I'm going to try again. So I'm not of the opinion that you should force your body into anything that feels bad. For one thing, it doesn't make you want to do the practice. It's almost like torture, and I'm not a big fan of torture. And for two, when you are in a position where you are braced and you're holding your breath, you're not doing yourself any good. So you're actually perpetuating holding patterns and this idea that no pain, the idea of no pain, no gain, which I think is something that we really need to retire. It's not truthful and it's not helpful. So let's just let that one go. Okay, so I'm going to try this again. I'm going to lift up, got my upper spine on here. Oh yeah, I can feel that's better already. Way looser. So I feel like if I had forced myself into that, it probably would have taken a lot longer because my body would have been resisting that initial like movement, and maybe would have been a bit too, it was definitely a bit too much. Okay, so I'm going to try that again. Arms up, and just move my shoulder blades a bit. Make sure that there's not a lot of tension in my neck, which is why I have my head supported here. Okay, and then I'll just drop my hips a little bit, take my arms back, and just feel what's happening there. So I encourage you to move in the way that feels good in your own body. So you're not moving in a way that like you think is aesthetically pleasing, but moving from the inside out, like what's going on? And I do think that we're more likely to practice something if it's not a torturous endeavor. So to come out, cradle your head, lift up, lower your pelvis, and then come up. I always like to finish with a twist of some sort, maybe a side bend, so that we're moving the spine in all planes of movement.